Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? I want to jump right into this today. What I'm talking about is the story of the talents that your pastors, that your preachers may not, more than likely have not, and will not, and do not continuously tell you, so that it keeps leaving you coming back with just a emptiness of hope and prayer, hoping and wishing, but nothing ever changes because you've heard this story too many times, and now you get in church and you hoop and you holler, but then it doesn't work. See, there's the story of the talents told twice in the Bible. And I'm not trying to say that everybody should become Christian or anything like that. What I'm just using that, I'm using this as a base. So the story of the talent, they talk about the fact that the master, who was a hard master based on what was said in the Bible, that he was a hard master who reaped where he did not sow. First, let's understand that. The master reaped where he didn't sow. That means that the master was an investor because he reaped money where he didn't do the work. He invested in other people who were going to do the work, and then he would bring his profits in. Now, understand, this master was going away, so he didn't want his money sitting there not doing anything. So he's reaping again where he does not sow. So he gave money to 3 different people, and each person received a different amount of money. He understood that I need to give a different amount of money to each one of you because you show me different abilities. You see, you have a position in your life right now where you receive the amount of money based on the ability that you have shown, the value that you have shown to the marketplace. It's not the value that you have to society, but the value to the marketplace, supply and demand, needs and wants. Okay, whether you can provide those and at what level you do. That is what you are receiving right now based on what the market has determined. So the master gave money based on what his current market of looking at his slaves will determine. All right, so that's why you're getting what you're getting. Now understand, the 3 went out. One went out who had 5 bags. I'm gonna use that version of it. Had 5 bags and he turned that into 10, right? The other one went out who had 3 bags and he turned that to 5. See, one doubled his. The other one just added a good percentage, about 75% to his. And the one, he buried his talents. He buried the money and he didn't make anything with it. Now understand, that one, the master was pissed and said that you should have at least put my money in the bank where it could have made some interest, because the master understands that making some money is better than making none. You see, you don't hoard your money, you don't hoard your talent, you got to send it out so that it brings back some more money. You know, that's how you create, you know, wealth and income, by having a flow of income coming in. You get the money, you don't consume it, you don't eat it all up right then. You don't say, oh, I sent out my 5 and it came back and made me 10 and now I'm going to eat the other 5. No, you send that 10 out to make even more money. See, you're not taught that in this store, you're not taught that in church. Right? You got to send it out so it can make some more money until it's just a river of money coming out. More money than you can spend is coming in. So that's how you continue to make money, because the master went, I don't know, we don't know what he went to do. Might have went and checked on some other investments, might have went on vacation, don't know what he went out to do, but when he came back, his expectation was that he made money while he was gone. You got to have that expectation too, that you're going to make money while you're gone, and wherever you put your money, you invest your money. See, the guy who got the 5 bags, that represents one business. The guy who had the 3 bags, that represents another business. And the one who got the 1 bag, that could represent another business that you invest in. But first, you got to have the money. You got to save it in order to invest in it. Now, in most situations, the preacher, the pastor will start telling you about hiding your talents and burying your talents, and you can't bury your talents, and you got to go out there and let's praise the Lord and let's bring it up to the altar. We're going to drop it at the altar, and everybody get excited and everybody get happy, and you walk out to church and you talking about, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to get this thing. But then Monday come and you go to work. Tuesday come, you still at work. Thursday, Friday, next weekend, another week, next weekend, another week. You just going back to work. You back into your same deal. What talents have you been putting out there? What talents have you went out and tried to double or raise 75% more to a 75% profit level? Or have you just continued to bury it and continue to do nothing, get into your same little groove? You see, the reason why you're doing this is because at the end of that sermon, you came up to the altar and you was given this idea of hope. You was given this idea of that I'm just going to pray and it's going to come. I'm just going to pray and the door's just going to open. No, let me tell you something. Doors don't just open. You had, even when you think the door just opened for you, you were doing things to bring that about. You were putting yourself in an environment to bring that about. Everything that has ever opened and closed to you has been opened and closed because you were acting in a way that brought it about. And you may think it's a miracle because you can't see the path, But everything follows the law of cause and effects. There is a cause to every effect and an effect to every cause. Everything follows that. So just because you didn't see it doesn't mean that it didn't happen that way. All right. If you go to another city and you chose to go on vacation to another city, or you go live in another city, and all of a sudden doors open for you without you making that decision to go move to this other city, those doors would have never opened because you wouldn't have been present to get them. You understand? They're not telling you that part of it. You need to get that part of it. But let me tell you what the reality is. Most of the time, something that just happens easily like that is not going to happen. You got to show yourself approved. You need to, okay, if you really want to do this thing, if you really want to have that life, save 10% of everything you make. Every dime that comes into your pocket, gross, save it. You give it to the church, you give it to the apartment, you give it to the government, you give it to the clothing manufacturer, you give it to the grocery store, you give it to the restaurant, the club, the bar. You're giving it to everybody else, but you're not giving it to yourself. Save your own talents first. You see, your job is the master who is reaping where they have not sown. So you are just giving back to them, but you got to start being your own master and save your 10% at minimum. Save 10%. And in 10 years, that equals a whole year of pay. What can you do with a whole year of pay just sitting there? And you got to be patient to not touch it. No matter what happens in your life, be patient and don't touch it, because that needs to be invested. Either you're going to be the master that gives it to one business, two businesses, or three businesses, or you're going to be the master that invests in your own business. All right, that you send it out to bring back more. You know, I was in the Marine Corps, so in my version, I'm sending my Marines out to capture me some other Marines, bring them in so I can retrain them and send all the Marines back out. You see, you got to have that mentality. See, that's what should be told at the end of that sermon. Not come up here and lay down your prayers and lay down your passions. No, you come up here and we're going to talk about the fact that now what you have to do is save your 10% so that you become the master and send out the troops. You got to save your 10% so that you become the master and you start your own company. You see, that's the part that's not being taught. And you need to understand that everybody can do it to some degree. Everybody can add $20, $30, $40, $50,000, $80,000 to their current income if you do two simple things. One, save the 10%. Cut off that cable. Stop going out and eat as much. You can do things like that to save your 10%. It ain't really that hard. All right? Save that 10%. Like Andrew Carnegie, I believe, said it, that if saving is not within a man, then greatness is not within him either. So you can do that. Then the other part is that time that you're not watching Lost and Empire and all that, that time is time for you to grind, for you to go online and start your website where you're selling some drop ship product, or start your service or something, or baking out of your house, whatever it is you're doing. See, those are the two things. Those two things alone, get your mind wrapped around that, and then you will truly understand what the story of the talents is trying to teach you. Because in church, they ain't teaching you that story correctly. They're just leaving you at the end with some hope instead of leaving you at the end with some constructive things to go and do. And if you're sitting there saying right now that you were told, your pastor, they tell you my pastor different, if your pastor been telling you and you ain't been doing it, then you ain't been listening. So y'all have a great day. Now, my greatness is non-negotiable, and I know yours is too. So go out and do those two things. Save 10%. Cut out some of the things in your life that's wasting your life. And then go out there and get on your grind. Spend some family time, but then get on your grind. Y'all have a great day.